What's going on, guys? Nolan here from Neurotic RC. Today I am doing a 1-year review with the trx4m. I'm going to talk about all the things I did on this rig, all the things that happened, what I think about it, is it worth it, go over everything that you need to know and compare it against some of the current hot items on the market. So stay tuned, watch the rest of this video. So this trx4m came out a little over a year ago, very close though. But initial thoughts, I don't think it's the worst rock crawler out there, but it definitely has some really big flaws. If you guys are on Reddit, I'm kind of on Reddit a decent amount. I'm on the trx4m community page, and so I know a lot of different issues people have with these things. I've had many issues myself with this thing. Some of the issues out of the bat had zero torque. I mean, it had torque, but for crawling does not have nowhere near enough. So I switched to the traxxas crawler gears. As soon as I did that, that's where everything started to fall apart. So once I switched those, about 3 seconds later, my drive shaft snapped. So I got an Endura stainless steel drive shaft. And then after I got that, I'm not sure what exactly happened or why. So I was crawling, and from what I can remember, I was not in a very tight area that would pinch the tires or anything, but my servo blew. For whatever reason, I kind of just stopped working mid-crawl. I wasn't really doing anything that aggressive with it. My servo stopped working, so I was trying to swap out different servos that we had, and none of them were working. I'm like, well, what the heck? Soon realized the ESC smoked. So then this, by the way, was probably, 3 weeks after probably not even 2 hours of use, because I had to wait right away to get gears and a drive shaft. So probably not even 2 hours of actual use, and the servo and ESC fried. Whatever happened, Traxxas is notorious for having those issues. All their cars have issues with servos and ESCs, every single one of them. The Stampedes have been notorious for smoking. Sometimes you get lucky and they don't ever. But I've had a Stampede and the servo and ESCs smoked. It's kind of, X-Maxes do that if you kind of, not even if you're bashing hard, they can just blow. So that's a huge flaw. So I had to dump. Of course, you could have went a cheaper route, but at that point, I just went straight FureTech brushless. And it's been working flawlessly after that. But once I got the brushless, literally right after, I started to have issues with my axial differentials, and they were starting to skip. You could hear it skip, and once I would crawl, you could hear it, the teeth get eaten up. So then I had to get new axles. Most of these parts are all Endura. These are actually Trio wheel spacers. And it just turned into a mess. So kind of everything started to fall apart, because nothing that was actually metal on here was that good. The stock shocks on that thing were terrible. I don't know what happened, but even if I put a little bit of oil, they leak right through, and I don't get it. But the tires were not that great. Had to swap tires, but that's almost for every rock crawler. But another huge issue that I had was the clearance. The way they designed them to basically be 1/24th scale axles or a 1/18th scale chassis. That does not mix. It sits way too low. They need to have everything else way bigger, and so you can get it off the ground more, or even just do portals. Every 1/10th scale crawler out there has portals. I mean, most of them do at least. But so I had to get these huge tires. I think these are 68 millimeters. Yep, these are 68 millimeters DJ crawlers. These things are awesome. They work very well. Got a NSDRC servo. Best servo money can buy, really. This thing is a beast. It is pretty as it is functional. This thing had endless torque and power. Haven't had a single issue with this. I'll buy another one of these. If I got a Losi LMT Mini coming, I'll probably get a NSDRC servo to replace that. Got Nex RC. They're insanely amazing shocks. These are actually functional reservoir shocks. As you can see, they got a little grub screw right there. You can adjust the rebound. Shocks are buttery smooth. I run no springs on the front. I run very soft springs on the rear. Got flex blades all around. These are my new V3 flex blades. You can see they give you a lot of clearance. They're very smooth as well. They work very nice. I 3D print these. I'll leave a link in the description for these on my Etsy shop. But these are awesome flex blades. They work very well. I've noticed personally they've helped this thing crawl a lot better. I mean, this thing was crawling almost completely sideways, and all four tires were on the ground, and it was almost completely sideways. And it was crawling up this huge rock face. It was really impressive. But that's basically all I have on this thing. The Tarantula chassis is definitely really nice. I really miss the scale look of the Bronco. I'm about ready to go back to a Bronco, get a carbon fiber, low center of gravity chassis, and hopefully not lose that much performance. I loved the Bronco. It looked so cool. And I do like these rock bouncer chassis, but they just do not have nearly as much scale look to them. I mean, they got rock bouncers, but I just want that scale Jeep look. I love that. But it's not a terrible. I personally, if I had a choice between the trx4m or the FMS K5 Blazer, I'd go with the FMS. That thing out of the box right now with just tires is performing as well as this thing. It doesn't have as great center of gravity, but on our little course, it was doing everything. Very easily. Like it was destroying the course. But this thing is definitely nice. You could probably compete with this thing and win. It's a decent chassis overall that I got set up here. I try to make best work for what I got. But if you guys have any questions with the flex blades, I'll leave a link in the description. If you have any questions about this chassis or anything RC related, leave it down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.